When one wakes up, she found that all her students had disappeared. The sudden change made her restless. To confirm the truth of the matter, Liang Yu is searching every corner of Zujiazan village. The result is still nothing. However, she noticed a strange. She doesn't understand. Why weren't the villagers of Zujiazan village kidnapped? Instead, all her students disappeared. Think of this. She could no longer suppress her worries. Turn around and run to the shelter, because he knows. The only hope now is Zhang Yi, only him, to help myself solve this mystery. That's all. A moment later, she returned to the shelter out of breath. She looks anxious, instantly caught everyone's attention. Then she told Zhang Yi, and she tells the whole story. She said he had searched all over Zujiazan village. There is no doubt that these children are missing. Everybody was shocked by this. They don't care much about those students, just worried about the shelter again, just in crisis. Then Liang Yu expressed her speculation. She deeply suspected that other forces have reached the Shishan district, and it was all implemented on purpose. After listening to Liang Yu's explanation, Zhang Yi instantly turned into an Oscar winner. Then he pretended to be confused and asked, "Did you have any enemies before? Otherwise, why are those villagers fine?" Liang Yu was very confused at this time. She doesn't know why this is happening, because in addition to teaching at Tianqing, I haven't been anywhere else. Not to mention revenge. Zhang Yi comforted, "Don't worry about this. The more anxious it is, the more chaotic it will be. Just calm down. We can analyze the best way. Well, let's investigate the shelter first. Look around. Have you seen any suspicious people around recently? If there is any, we can follow the clues." Then Zhang Yi directly turned on the monitor. And it's pretty obvious why he did it. Just to tell Liang Yu, I had nothing to do with your students disappearing. As time goes by, the display on the monitoring shows that everything is normal. Liang Yu was also a little relieved. At least her worst fear didn't come. However, Zhang Yi said with a serious face, "Now we're in trouble. There is no useful information in the monitoring. Now we're completely passive." Although there are still for major bases in Tianhai City, but this kind of thing cannot be ruled out like other small forces. But, since they deliberately kidnapped Liang Yu's students, that means these people should be asking for something. We'll just have to wait now. See what happens next. Heard this, several beautiful women in the family also expressed their praise. After all, we still don't know the strength of the other party. If we take some rash actions, it is very likely to fall into the trap of the enemy. So now it is the best choice to respond to changes without changing. Then Zhang Yi patiently explained this to Liang Yu. The powerful relationship. His enlightenment made Liang Yu feel a lot better. At least not so anxious anymore, but she still can't figure it out. I didn't offend anyone. Why target yourself? Zhang Yi said that there are many reasons for this. But one thing is for sure, this concerns you. Otherwise it doesn't make sense at all. But you don't have to worry too much. I think those students should be safe now. Let's wait for the news. It was just now. Zhang Yi grasped Liang Yu's palm. This unexpected sight left her trembling. When she looked up, he said affectionately, "Don't you worry. I will be by your side anytime and anywhere. After all, I promised you to take care of those students with you. As long as there is news, I will never die." Liang Yu was moved after hearing it. She blushed, hesitantly said, "Listen to you." Zhang Yi looked sad. In fact, the smile blossomed, because he knows better than anyone. Even if the people from Yongsheng base don't kill them, they also die of food poisoning. After all, those fierce materials under Zhang Yi, they've been eating for days. Then Zhang Yi was just Lu Karen and Yang Xinshin. Accompany Liang Yuel. The two girls are also very intense. Pull the teacher directly and go to the room. After seeing Liang Yu leave, Zhou Qier immediately came to Zhang Yi's side. She asked with a worried face, "Are external forces coming to attack us again?" Zhang Yi nodded without hesitation. Admitted it. Yang Xia complained why these people are so bad. "We just had a few good days. Why are you fighting again?" Heard this, Zhang Yi smiled carelessly. "Ms. Yang Xia, that's why you got it wrong. It's not that they disrupt our lives. It's the way we go to war. In exchange for peace." However, Zhang Yi was still more worried at this time. Hug the girls. After all, we have to deal with two forces. Absolutely not as simple as imagined. But Zhang Yi can't control so much now. Want peace? You have to make choices and sacrifices. Although a little troublesome, but he is bound to make a name for himself in Tianhai City, so that no one dares to attack us. However, Zhou Qier asked with some worry, "Aren't you worried about Liang Yu doing this?" Zhang Yi was a little confused when asked, "What am I worried about? Although I admire her, but if she can't overcome her heart, if she goes on like this, then I can only let her go. If necessary, Zhang Yi will personally take action to solve this hidden danger." He doesn't get emotional with anyone easily. Because once you have feelings, people are soft-hearted and hesitant. At night, Zhang Yi called Su Chunli and Uncle Vu over. Told them to be ready for battle at all times. Su Chunli sighed after hearing it. It was really annoying. Have ignored these people. Can't you stop for a while? Zhang Yi just smiled coldly. Impossible. Whenever, there will be people who want higher rights. Do you think, is everyone else as free as we are? And from a safety standpoint, only by eradicating all threats around you, you can sit back and relax. After listening, the two nodded in agreement, because they were already experienced that feeling, whether it is in Yulu community or Zhujiazan village. It's an indelible memory. Speaking of which, Zhang Yi gave the two a reassurance. He said everything was under his control. Let them not worry. As long as the enemy sees our power, make them understand. I'm not a good bone to chew on. Naturally, they will never dare to attack us again. Uncle Vu laughed after hearing it. He said it was done. It just so happens that my whole body is itchy these days. You can just go out and move your muscles and bones. Su Chunli sighed helplessly, but also accept this reality. So far, I have to bite the bullet. However, at this moment, suddenly, there was a loud sound from outside. Obviously, this is the sound of a car engine. Several people immediately got up from the sofa. The eyes of the three suddenly became sharp. There's someone coming, and it's a car. Then Zhang Yi ran to the windowsill on the second floor. He wanted to see who it was. How dare you break in so blatantly? It's really deadly. Soon, several people came to the balcony. They followed the source of the sound. Sure enough, a few hundred meters away, found a modified car. But to Zhang Yi's surprise, why is there only one? Is it a messenger? It was just now. Zhang Yi thought. In space? Pulled out a sight gun. Looking at Su Chunli is both nervous and excited. He really wants to try this big toy too. However, Zhang Yi said, we should focus on the enemy. He opens the scope. I found that there were only two people in the car, and look at their posture. It seems that there is no intention of staying. As they passed by the shelter, suddenly, a soldier pulls a gun out of the car. Then there was a swoosh. A cloud-piercing arrow followed. He plunged into the wall of the shelter. The arrow has a red tag on his tail. See them and leave. Zhang Yi's mouth curled into a sneer. Here is where you can come if you want. Is it a place to go if you want? After Zhang Yi fired a shot at the tire of the car. Precision shooting. Make his bullets look like they have a GPS installed. No matter how they spiral. Can't escape the pursuit of this bullet. If there is no accident in the next second, it will definitely not be an accident, Zhang Yi said. Obviously his driving skills are not good. It's a spiral in place. However, while Zhang Yi was shooting, he jumped off the second floor, following closely behind his Uncle Vu. Su Chunli was stunned. What are these two going to do? However, at the moment when Zhang Yi landed, the power of space slowly emerged beneath his feet, let him fall firmly like a feather. At this time, the car at Yongsheng base has overturned. A soldier happened to be trapped in the car. The other is still trying to rescue, but when he saw a giant cat coming at him, he decisively gave up on his teammates. Turn your head and run, it's just as scary. Where has he seen the scene before? Soldiers under the car at this moment don't know what happened yet. Seeing teammates run away regardless of themselves, he really wanted to swear. But how could Zhang Yi give him this opportunity? Since you are here, there is no reason not to stay for dinner. Then came a gunshot, but Zhang Yi did not kill. He just shot this guy in the calf. After all, he also needs to figure out the origin and purpose of the two. That's hard to find information. With a scream, the soldier who was just running away fell down. He knows it's over. I'm afraid I'm doomed this time. And another soldier tried to fight back with a gun drawn, but by Uncle Vu, he went up to control this. At this time, Zhang Yi was very confused. Because these two are obviously not metahumans, he couldn't guess what the other party was doing. Isn't sending these two little boy to die? But the next second, something unexpected happened to Zhang Yi. The corners of their mouths moved slightly. In an instant, a large mouthful of blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. Zhang Yi frowned. These people are not afraid of death. The matter was checked by the uncle. They are dead. They hid the poison in their mouths. It seems that he has fully prepared himself. They are afraid of information leakage. Zhang Yi took a helpless breath. These guys are smart. They must know. I won't let them go no matter what. But in this case, I still don't know what their purpose is here. However, at this moment, Su Chunli happily held up the handle just now. He ran over. He shouted, "Boss, look. This is what they left behind." Zhang Yi saw that his pupils were fierce. Immediately yelled, "Silly. Don't come to me again." He was scolded by Zhang Yi. It made him understand something in an instant. He just wanted to take credit. Zhang Yi said, "What if this is a trap?